right, guys, we're going to have a reality chat about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, on this most recent episode, two new people were introduced to us. One is a peach holder, that's Drew Sidora, and the other one, she is, I guess, a friend to the show, and her name is LaToya Ali. She goes by LaToya forever. Well, Drew Sidora, I feel like she's a breath of fresh air to the show. And not just because she's new on the show and she is, I don't want to say replacing Nene Leakes, because I don't want to say she's replacing her. They just don't have Nene Leakes on the show right now at this point. And she is a new housewife. She comes with some real issues. I don't think that what they're showing us is played up for the cameras. And to be honest, I was a little bit embarrassed for her, but it's reality TV and it's like, this is some reality for your you know what. So Drew Sidora, she is known for being on the television show The Game, and also she is someone who played T-Boz in the TLC movie that was made for television on VH1. She seems to be a very good actress. She's not extremely well known, but she seems to be a genuine person. But the relationship issues, oh my God, between her and her husband, it is crazy. She said he disappeared once for 3 days. She didn't know where he was. He wasn't taking her calls. You don't do stuff like that when you're married to someone. And they're dealing with the quarantine issues like a lot of relationships and definitely marriages have and have been tested, because she said her mom came down to help her and him out at the house with the children because she had to have surgery on her foot. And then COVID happened and she was stuck there because she had to quarantine and she couldn't travel back home to Chicago. So I'm quite sure that having your mother-in-law living with you unexpectedly, for anybody, whether it is the mother-in-law of the wife or the mother-in-law of the husband, it's got to be hard. I don't really know if I could do that. Thanking God that I have not had to, and praying that I never will. That's got to be hard. So they have a lot of relationship issues that they have to confront. So we'll definitely, I'm sure, see this play out on this new season. So I feel like she'll be a good fit to the show. But surprisingly, somebody who is on the show, who is a friend of, I guess, Kenya, I don't really get it, is LaToya Ali. And I just want to ask you guys your thoughts on her. I get it. She's a big YouTuber. She's got a large following on social media, and she's currently going through a situation right now where she and her husband are separated but living in the same household, and he has since filed for divorce, and she seems to be okay with it because she looks like she wants to be for the streets and live the single life. But I don't know, she came across pretty just, I don't want to say the word aggressive, but she just seemed like she was just doing too much. Like, what do you guys think? Do you feel like she was doing way too much? I feel like she might be a nice person. She definitely presents herself well, and she speaks clearly, and just a very, I guess, a fun type of personality. And even Candy said, she's a friend of hers. She met her a couple of years ago, and if you don't really know her, she can be a bit much. And Candy did not lie, because I didn't really care for her. I don't follow her on social media, so I don't know a whole lot about her. I just know some of the things that were in the news several months ago when it came out that she and her husband were separated but living in the same household, and that she did not want to be in the marriage anymore, so he decided to file for divorce, and they have, I think, 3 kids together. Candy was right. She, if you don't know her, can be a bit too much, and she just came across to be a bit too much for me. And even when she came to Cynthia's house, Lake Bailey, Cynthia seemed like she was a bit surprised that Kenya took to somebody like her, because Kenya, when it comes to new people, she is not very inviting and open and friendly. And they, of course, you know how Bravo does, they showed the clips. of times when Kenya was absolutely unfriendly to someone. She did it to Kim Fields. Kim Fields was a housewife that was holding a peach. She was that way with Cynthia in the beginning, and she's been that way with a number of people. Even though I don't dislike Kenya, she does have that type of personality that is hard to get adjusted to. I guess I feel sorry for her in a lot of ways, but for her to be so close with someone that she just recently met, like LaToya, I'm like, what is it? Like, is there some type of attraction there? I don't know, because Kenya's going through some relationship issues with her husband, and they're currently separated, and I guess they're going to get divorced, but we'll see. But LaToya, she came across a bit too much to deal with, and even when Mike, Cynthia's now husband, met at the time fiance, he was at the house and he came down, and the things that LaToya was saying, Mike had this look on his face like, who is this chick that just is new to this crew and she's already kind of turning up in the house? Like, what is that about? And she talked about her sugar daddy, her first Porsche sugar daddy bought it for her. Like, I don't know if this is just what her personality is, or if she feels like because she is on this reality show that she's trying to solidify her space so that she will be someone that will continue to come back. Because as we all know, Marlo is somebody who is like a forever friend of the show. I guess she will never hold a peach, and Marlo seems to be okay with that. But the ironic thing is, she's supposed to be good friends with Nene, but Nene isn't even there anymore, and now she's there. And then you saw at the end of the episode where Marlo came and gave Kenya a hug. And we saw in the past few seasons that Marlo did not see it for Kenya, and Kenya did not see it for Marlo. So do you feel that Marlo is softening her stance on Kenya because Nene isn't around? Or do you feel that Nene was an influence that was preventing her from becoming close with Kenya? I don't know. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And how do you feel about this new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta? Do you think that these newbies are going to be good additions to the show? How do you feel about Portia? And it seems like her storyline is going to be surrounded around the social justice issues that was going on during the summer, because she was doing the protests in Louisville, Kentucky, and in Atlanta, and she even got arrested. So do you feel like that's going to be just a storyline for her, or is this something that she's actually living and walking out because this is what she genuinely believes? I feel like she genuinely believes it, and it's something that she's actually doing, but it also plays well for the show. And so why not? It gives her a legitimate storyline, because it doesn't seem like this relationship that she has with Dennis is ever going to amount to them walking down the aisle. And that did happen really fast. That relationship happened extremely fast. I mean, from the first episode that she introduced everybody to Dennis, they went looking at rings. And she kept hinting that she wanted to get engaged, and then she wound up getting pregnant, and then she was big and pregnant, and then he proposed. So it was just a lot, and I really didn't feel like that relationship was going to work out and last anyway. So none of that really surprises me. So this gives her a legitimate and genuine storyline. But please let me know what you think about Drew Sidora and LaToya Ali. I did like Drew so far. I like what I see. LaToya, don't really care for her on the show. I don't know what she's like outside of the show, and it is whatever, but I just felt like for her first episode, this was a lot, and I can probably understand why she probably did not get a peach and is a housewife, because it really doesn't make much sense. We've seen people come on these shows that were going through relationship issues that were actual housewives. I mean, we see it on current Real Housewives franchises, and we've seen it on past Real Housewives franchises, so that isn't anything new. But she just comes across more of like a party girl and not so much like a housewife. I think the only reason why a few previous seasons of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Ronnie DeVoe's wife and forgive me, I can't remember her name at the moment, but she was in the singing group Black. I think the only reason why she was actually an official Real Housewife of Atlanta and held a peach was because of who her husband was. I just feel that way. But she just came across more of like a party girl, and she talked about how they had an open relationship, and she was seeing another woman and he was seeing another woman, and it was just kind of weird. I didn't dislike her, but it was just weird and different for somebody who was an actual housewife on the franchise. So I feel like she probably would have been a better fit as a friend of the show, like this LaToya Ali person is right now. But I liked her a lot more than LaToya Ali. But this is just the first episode that she's been on, so I guess we'll see how it goes, guys. But you guys let me know your thoughts on this first and second episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and how do you feel about the new girls on the show? And do you feel that it's going to make it without Nene? Do you feel that they can move on without Nene, and will Nene actually come back in a later season? We shall see. But thank you guys for liking, thank you for commenting, thank you for subscribing, and I appreciate you joining me for this reality chat on the Being Beautifully Honest channel with Beth.